welcome to the Next Generation podcast, the Cowboy Creatives feature. We're ecstatic for this. I am so excited to kind of get back to a big reason that I started this podcast was about my photography business and things like that, and bring Lindsay along for the ride. So a little bit of background that what are you talking about? What happened? Why did you bring Lindsay on?
What is
this girl came on a few months ago and she yapped for 2 hours straight on your podcast.
We won't be doing that.
Why are you letting her back? Anywho, okay, so rewind to a few months ago. So I decided a few months ago, earlier this year, late last year, that I wanted to host a photography workshop retreat weekend that wasn't just a styled shoot. Or just had a bunch of content weekend shoots with it. I wanted something that was an educational weekend that happened to have some styled shoots associated with it.
For the Western.
Yes, for the Western industry. And there was nothing like this out there. I know of so many other styled shoots or styled content weekends or stuff like that they might have some Q&As or some good chit chat things with it, but I was like, no, I want to take this to the next level. I want to bring in speakers. I want people to feel like they come to this and their business is elevated to a whole nother level. And it's not just my knowledge, but it's knowledge of people in the industry that have been here for a long time, like Lindsay has, that have built businesses from the ground up and super successful businesses. And so I launched, it was originally called Cowboy Kind of Love, and it was all based around featuring the relationships of the cowboy lifestyle. And so we had several different styled shoots that we did. And then I asked Lindsay to come in as a guest speaker for this weekend. And then the more Lindsay and I got to talking and things like that, the idea got brought up of hey, what if for the next one we did this together? And instead of just Lauren's little brainchild, I bring Lindsay's creativity and awesomeness and candor and amazingness and everything to it. And so we got done with this last weekend and it went so stinking good, guys. The group of girls that we had was phenomenal. The educational sessions that we did were phenomenal. And as Lindsay would say, I did not let her leave Kansas or Missouri, KCI, until 9:00 that night was when her flight was. And so I held her hostage in a Barnes and Noble at Zona Rosa in Kansas City. And we created a business from the ground up. And that is what brought us here to the Cowboy Creatives. And we're just so excited for this journey and to educate the Western photography industry and bring just a whole new wave of light and life to the industry to be able to just really capture the cowboy way of life and the Western lifestyle and everything that's associated with it. So Lindsay, I'll let you kind of give your 2 cents of the background and everything. But yeah, I just felt like I needed to throw myself under the bus saying that I did hold Lindsay captive in a Barnes and Noble for several hours before she could say it. Because at least if it's coming out of my mouth, it sounds better than Lindsay being
I got kidnapped.
Red flag, waving the flag, someone help me. I promise she's here on her own regard, guys. Okay.
Am I?
Yes, you are. Okay.
Oh, okay. So, as Lauren said, first of all, I don't want to my biggest thing is this was her brainchild. I don't want to just come in and take credit for it because that is definitely not the case. I remember when she first asked me, I just opened up my email one day and it's this girl I did a podcast with asking me if I'd like to come and talk at a photography workshop. And I'm like, that was out of left field. I had never done anything like it. But I was like, yeah, why not? So we got to talking more. It was the first time that she hosted a workshop. It was the first time that I was being an educational speaker at a workshop. We both individually and separately have attended a ton of online workshops, in-person workshops, just investing into our business with online courses, all the good stuff. So, it kind of felt like it was time. But I will say that Lauren dragged me. She was like that TikTok where it's like, take my hand, now hold on, now we go.
Tight. Really tight, because Lauren runs fast.
Yeah.
So, hold on.
And, yes, her mind runs fast.
It does.
So anyways, as we got to talking more, she was like, just talk about whatever you want. And I was like, okay.
Which was really dangerous of me to say because I told her that on our podcast that we did together. And Oh my gosh, guys, the unedited version. You can scroll back in this and
I'm
go find her
sorry.
podcast. It was one of the first few. The unedited, no, you don't have to be sorry. It was amazing. Okay. I still love that podcast so much. It's what brought us together. Okay. But the unedited version was like 3 hours long, and the edited version is like 2. So,
Yeah, but
if you want,
we're gonna control Lindsay a little
exactly.
bit. I mean,
We're going to rein it in.
yes, it's fine. It's fine. But you know, as we got to talking more about kind of what she was envisioning and maybe what I would talk about, and I'd be like, well, what are you going to talk about? Because I don't want to talk about the same thing you're going to talk about. And what's the other guest speaker going to talk about? Because I don't want to talk about the same thing they're talking about. And like the more we would just like bounce ideas off each other, the majority of our voice memos that are like an eternity long, they would start out with me saying like, if you don't agree with this, by all means, feel free to say no. I won't be offended. Like, this is your baby. But what if we did X, Y, and Z? And Lauren would be like, oh my God, no, I love that. And I'd be like, okay, yay. But this is your thing. So, like, I feel rude just like coming in and being like, Kansas tornado. And be like, what if we do something else? And so I just like meshed really well from the get-go. I've talked about some of my experiences. Lauren has talked about some of her experiences. We just bonded over that. And, you know, kind of after we did this weekend, we're like the same person, but we are different at the same time. Which sounds very cliche to say, but if you can't tell, like literally I'm wearing all black and Lauren's over there like in white, even her headphones. So
I am secretly a black cat too. I told Lindsay, I was like, I got on and saw that you were in all white, and I about went to go change into my all black t-shirt again.
You're the bride to be.
I'm in my white era, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
I hate that era. I hate that era.
Me too.
So.
I actually don't really love white on me. I think the only thing that makes it okay is the wild rag.
You always have a wild rag on, girl. Like it could be dead of the summer and you got a wild rag on. I'm like,
hey, you can tie a wild rag like this.
I know. It's the livestock. It's the livestock junkie in you.
You've seen my father. That man is always wearing a wild rag too. Okay.
I'm in one when it's cold outside and it's like actually serving a purpose. You can tie it
like super pretty like this, and then it's just a nice little accessory.
It is very pretty. When we were staying at the Airbnb this weekend, which Lauren picked out a beautiful Airbnb, the trees did remind me of somewhere where you might get murdered. However, I live in a place where there are no trees. So if anybody's ever been to like Cheyenne, Wyoming, I live just south of there. So yeah. So I was a little freaked out by the trees, but however, we're like in the Airbnb and Laura and I shared a room like mom and dad basically. And like she just like has her clothes out and I see like all the wild rags that are tied in this perfect like square knot. And like literally all I would have to do is like slip it over my head and I could like rock it. And like, I was like, should I? No.
Hey, I always have these girls locked and loaded. I just don't untie them. Like when winter comes around and I actually like start wearing them like a wild rag around my neck, it's going to be a sad day because these perfect buckaroo knots are going to go away and I'm going to have to like undo all of this perfectness, but it's fine. It's fine.
You are the wild rag queen.
Yes, of course. I don't know how we got off topic again, but anywho.
So we we're talking about how we just kind of decided to like morph it together. I felt like, and hopefully the girls can attest to it as well, that we're coming to the workshop, but like we have a way of just like feeding off of each other and like just, you know, I don't know, like how would you describe this? Lauren, mom, can you please put the words to what my brain is trying to say?
We just are really good at like having a conversation with one another and it being like, so Lindsay will say something and then I bounce back with something else, but then also we don't agree on everything. And so we're really good at having like a debate and being able to be a civilized debate and just being super candid and like the candor that we bring to the like workshop and just the way that we talk to one another and stuff. It's like, yo, we're very open people. We're open to a lot of different things and a lot of different ways that you can run your business and things like that. But at the same time, like we're able to sit down and kind of debate, well, like this is what works for me. This is what I prefer, but Lindsay prefers it this way or different things like that. I'm sure there's kind of a word for it, but
for example, like there was 2 different things that like, even in front of the girls, like it was just like an open sort of like debate because the first thing is like no photographer is going to run their business the same way, have the same
Yep.
website, have the same equipment. Like, you just shouldn't, like, plain and simple, you shouldn't. So it's fine to like have different opinions and like see things differently. So we were talking about with the girls, like, client workflow, and we were talking
Yep.
about the different third-party programs that we use to do that. And Lauren and I used two different ones completely. And Lauren was like, well, I think mine's better. And I was like, well, I know mine's better. So then
I don't know if mine is necessarily better by the end of this. Lindsay
because I
might
convinced you.
Lindsay might convince me to move over, but
listen to this though. So I may have convinced Lauren on that, but like, and if you're a photographer out there, you're going to understand this. I have both DSLRs and my mirrorless, and I am not one of the girlies who sold all of my DSLRs. I want to hang on to everything. And so like to this retreat or workshop, I brought my DSLR. Now, when I have my harness on at a wedding, I have my DSLR on one hand, which is like my dominant hand, the one I'm taking most pictures with, and I have my mirrorless on the other. And I'll kind of use the mirrorless, like if I get a really like cool shot that's like, say, a pose shot, for example, that it gives me the ability to bounce back and forth. I'll switch over to my mirrorless, be like, wait, I want to like get this on this camera too. And the entire weekend, Lauren was just like hounding me. She's like, I don't know why you didn't bring your mirrorless camera. I don't know why you still use that DSLR. And I was like, because I like it. I love this DSLR camera, Lauren.
She's comfortable with it, guys. I genuinely think it's because Lindsay doesn't want to get out of her comfort zone and she doesn't want to fully learn how to use a mirrorless. Because
I know how to use my mirrorless. It's just
I know you do.
Here's the other thing. We talked about how like we didn't think like the adapters worked, and to go full mirrorless is like a huge investment.
Very big investment.
Yeah, and unless you want your wedding packages to increase by 30%, you'll let me keep using the DSLR till I'm ready. Okay.
Okay.
But
so
like,
if Lindsay's clients are listening to this, they're probably screaming, "Lauren, shut up! Shut up!
They're like, no, keep the DSLR. First of all, you guys, there's nothing wrong with the DSLR.
No, there
because
isn't.
think of how many weddings I've shot in the 10 years of being a wedding photographer that I've shot with before a mirrorless camera was even like a thing that had the technology that it has now. So like, you don't want to make people who had me shoot with a DSLR at their camera feel like, oh, their wedding pictures suck now.
No, they didn't suck. They were
amazing.
I'm just pro mirrorless, and Lindsay.
But I
got some really great photos on my DSLR too back in the day.
Yes. Okay. But the point back in the day, I'm still getting great photos, bro. Come at me. But the point
Lindsay
is
will
that
always
like
have a graveyard.
What?
You'll always have a graveyard of your cameras. You're never going to get rid of any of them.
No,
ever.
I have sold some of my cameras when they have an extremely high, like, shutter count.
Oh,
but
I don't
to non-photographers, I specifically tell people that like if you want like an entry level, like it's a good camera, but like I wouldn't go shoot a wedding with it. You know what I mean? Like it used to be my wedding body. Now, like, you should probably get something a little bit more reliable. If you want to just go like do a session, by all means, it's got dual memory card slots. Whatever. Anyways, back on topic. So like in our debates, I might have like convinced Lauren like, oh, my client workflow system that I use is a better like third party like website. And Lauren's like, oh yeah. And then like, and that was something we went back and forth on. And then when Lauren's like, Lindsay, you should be using your mirrorless, literally for like the last like 5 days, I've been like, what would it look like if I used my mirrorless more? And it scares me just a tiny bit. But like, I mean, there's like, it's not like we're like fighting and arguing with each other. Like it's beneficial, and we're hopeful that even when we have different opinions on things, that you can be like listening and you're like, hey, well, I see Lindsay's point or I see Lauren's point, and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm super excited for the avenue that Lindsay and I are taking with not only creating the Cowboy Creatives workshop, like in-person events, but this is going to be a truly holistic business building business for you guys as creatives. You don't have to, creatives are small business owners within the Western industry. We're going to be bringing a lot of just knowledge and content to you guys. So
not just photographers.
Yeah, not just photographers. So for like the in-person workshops, even if you are just a creative within the industry, I'm sure we could find a spot for you. Message Lindsay or I, and we'll be in contact more about that. But we'll be releasing all the stuff for our 2025 workshop here soon. But even like up until then, we're gonna
soon.
I hope so. That just scared Lindsay apparently. Okay,
girl, so I'm hoping I have so many things to edit.
Okay, that's fair.
Sorry.
That's fair. Within the next close while.
It'll be soon. It'll be soon. Whatever. It'll be fine. It's fine. I'll just die.
Soon is relative. Soon is a relative word. Okay. And by the time this comes out, maybe we'll be closer to that soon. So you never know. Anywho, But I'm just super excited because this is going to be like a truly holistic thing for you guys as creatives within the Western industry, that we're going to be bringing you this podcast every week with little blips. So we're going to be keep it super casual, whether it be some hot takes or some Q&A episodes, or just like some really great educational content of just different things like that. And then we're outside of that, we're building a website that's going to just really bring some great educational information to you guys as well, from different blogs and different things like that, to different courses that you can maybe enroll in the future. And this, obviously, guys, this is all futuristic talk. It does take time and energy to put all of this stuff together.
But we're already, bro, it hasn't even been a week. It hasn't even been a week. And we're recording our first podcast.
I know. We started this business 6 days ago. 6 days ago. No, 5 days ago, because you left on Sunday. Yeah. 5 days ago. We are recording on a Friday, guys.
We go hard, honestly.
We go hard in the paint. It is wild that we are already here. So it's, for real. It's probably going to be a little bit sooner than like even Lindsay or I can fathom, especially because like Lauren has a super exciting announcement coming soon. Anywho, but
yeah. She's not pregnant, you guys. It's not a shotgun wedding.
No, this is not a shotgun wedding at all.
There's nothing wrong with shotgun weddings, by the way.
Let me get married and get this wedding stuff behind me, and then maybe we'll talk more about it. But
maybe.
Super exciting stuff coming just for this business as a whole, and Lindsay and I's collaboration on it, and just all of the truly free content that we want to put out towards you guys. We're big believers in the fact that like in order for you to invest in us, we need to invest in you as our audience. And so we're just super excited.
We want to hear from you guys too. This just can't be all of our ideas. Like if you're like, wow, I really like listening to Lindsay and Lauren, they have some good points, but like I would find value in if they talked about XYZ. Like by all means, we are open books. You can either message me at Miss Miller's Photography. You can message Lauren at Showboat Media Co. Or of course, you can always message our social media page that we have together that is for this business, which is the Cowboy Creatives. And honestly, you guys, we have all of our social medias already up and running. So if you'd like to go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, please do. Lauren, also her OCD plan herself, she already went ahead and created an email list. So we are hopeful to get our first freebie tips out to you guys. So please, by all means, go to the link that's in the Cowboy Creatives Instagram bio. Click on that. Make sure you sign up so you're the first in the know, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be giving out like the first people who sign up are honestly going to get a lot of value, because like, we are so gung-ho on this. Not to say that we're going to like burn out, but like we're ready. We are ready to go on this. And also really fast, just talking about that, if you're following us, I've had a few people ask me over on Miss Miller's Photography. One, Lauren and I have kind of talked about like, this is not just for women. We love women. We love supporting women in business, but there are also men that are in the Western creative space out there, and we don't just want to like seclude them from this. And especially because Lauren and I have both worked in agriculture so long that we are used to working with like dominant like male figures in our lives. And so it's something that's super comfortable for us to do naturally. Because you just have to, when you work in agriculture, you have to be able to work with men because they do dominate the field. But also, like our last workshop that we just did, or Lauren's workshop that I was a guest speaker at, there's me like trying to say, like, oh yeah, I was a part of it too.
You were a big part of it. Okay.
It was all
the horses
women.
In, and you led the rest of the shoot that I had to run away for. So
everybody's like, "Where's Lauren?" And I'm like, I'm assuming she wouldn't have left if it wasn't like a big deal. But, with that. And so as far as creatives go, so we're talking photographers. It doesn't just have to be Western wedding photographers. It can be Western lifestyle photographers, Western family photographers. If you are like Lauren and you're really heavily involved in like the livestock imaging side of things, Lauren is the guru on all things livestock imaging. Like, the girl's good. We always joke. We're like, this is where we're like the same but different. So I started my business by taking pictures of livestock, but like I'm more of like the artistic, like home decor thing. Like this picture behind me, I did not Photoshop that. Like that freaking happened. I just like changed the background to be black, like an equine photo, basically. And then like Lauren, she's like, if you want $20,000 for one of your heifers, you should probably hire me because I can take that bomb photo. And I'm just like, I want a cute sunset in the background. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then also, so we have videography. videographers. So if you're doing anything, like if you're doing like rodeo videography, you please come. And Laura and I are also talking about like ways that we can like make this, and especially podcast episodes specifically. If you are just an entrepreneur in general in the Western industry, if you own any type of small business, be it a boutique, you're selling your, meat, you're selling a service to people, maybe you are an influencer, like we are looking for ways to bring so much content to you, because as you can tell from creating a business in less than 2 hours in a Barnes & Noble in Kansas, and then it's only
Missouri.
5 days in, whatever, same thing. It's literally called Kansas City, all right?
So you're about to PO some Missourians.
You guys, I live in Colorado. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Yeah, please forgive me. That's like, I think it's like the same thing if somebody's like when you said the other day, you're like, Lindsay lives by Denver. I'm like, whoa, no, I do not live by Denver, you guys. I identify with Wyoming, not Denver, okay? I'm like, I live closer to Wyoming border than I do Denver. I don't say I'm from Denver. Nothing wrong if you're from Denver, but
button hit.
I don't want to be. For my own reasons. So anyways, but yeah, we are excited to bring more to you. Is there anything you want to wrap it up with, Lauren? Tell everybody.
Yeah, I'm just super excited for this journey, guys. Definitely all of the links will be in the show notes down below. We'll have our Instagram, all of our different social media platforms, and then I'll also have the link to that email list that Lindsay had mentioned, and definitely get signed up for that, because when we do release things, that will be the place that we release it first. So the people that are on our email list are definitely going to get priority there. So they're going to get access to the new website. They're going to get access to any just like behind the scenes free content. And they're also going to get access to when we do release the 2025, the Cowboy Creatives retreat and workshop. They will get first access to all of those tickets and information for that as well. So definitely go get signed up for that email list. And very soon we will start having that content go out to you guys, and go give us a follow on all the things. So
we can't even put into words how many things that we have cooking in our minds. Like when we say this is not just for like Western photographers, we mean it. And we're excited to hear what you guys are most excited for us to bring to you and all the things. So stay tuned. We have a lot of awesome content. And this episode, we were kind of supposed to talk about the actual workshop itself, but we did a live about that, and we'll just see what Mama Lauren wants to do. I'm Grandma, by the way, and Lauren is Mom. So if you come to one of our workshops, I am Grandma. Basically, like envision Betty White, like that sort of like unhingedness. Because I'm 29 years old, and Lauren is like a little baby compared to me. So I'm Grandma, but like the cool grandma, like Betty White, and then Lauren is Mom. So if I were to say Mama Lauren, she's not an actual mother yet.
Yes, no.
Except for 2 dogs.
Not for a while. Yes, I'm a dog mom.
We both are.
Yes, exactly.
We're cow moms. We are cow moms, and we are also dog moms.
Yes, precisely. So, but yeah, guys, we're so excited for this journey. This is not just for photographers or videographers. This is going to be truly a holistic business approach to entrepreneurship within the Western industry. So come along for the ride, guys. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy, but it's also just going to be so much fun. And till next time, we will see y'all next week on another episode of The Next Generation, the Cowboy Creatives.
This literally shows my age, because like the kids now, they do it like, how do they do it? I can't even do that.
So it's like your middle finger, put your middle finger down, and then put your, yep, there you go. There you go. You got it.
No, this feels comfortable. I'm Grandma.
So I like to, if I'm going to have them together, I like having my hands like this. We're doing heart shapes, by the way. If you guys are still listening, if I don't cut this.
Oh, it's content. It's content.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. If you're listening to this, it's heart shapes. But if I'm going to do a heart like this, I do it with both of my hands. But if I'm going to do just like a half a heart, I go like this. Also,
look at me like an Illuminati or something when I do this.
Does my middle finger freak you out?
Yeah, a little bit, honestly.
Yeah, I'm double jointed. I'm double jointed out the wazoo, so it's actually kind of freaky.
Wonderful.
Sorry if you guys got the heebie-jeebers by that. Anywho,
all right, next episode. Next episode is hot takes.
We will see y'all next week on an episode of Hot Takes for the Cowboy Creatives. Get ready for some hot, juicy content. So we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.